Okay, we're doing summation notation. All right, this is going to be our unit 6. Okay, we're dealing with sequences and series. So here's what I want you to write. Write it. Unit number 6. We're doing summation notation. Okay, this right here is the sigma sign. Okay, and the sigma sign, we're going to show you how this works. Okay, that's what the summation notation is dealing with. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to write a 3. I want you to practice writing that sigma. Okay? You're going to put x equals 1. And then here you're going to put 4x. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this by hand, and then we're going to show you how to check everything in the calculator. I want to show you guys how to do this by hand. So everybody, this little number right here, this is where you start. That's the start. Okay? And this is the last number. It's like that's the finish. That's the first. This is the last. So you can say start or first number, last number. Okay. Yeah, if you're not first, you're last. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put 3 little boxes. Put a box 1. We're going to put a box 2, and we're going to put box 3. Or put plus in between. Okay. This is going to be our first term. This is going to be our second. This is going to be our third. So what we're doing is, what's the very first number we're going to plug into this? We're going to plug in a 1. Then we're going to plug in a 2. Then we're going to plug in a 3. And we're ending there because we're starting with a 1 and we're finishing with a 3. All right, so here's what I want you guys to understand what we're going to do. See where it says 4x? Basically, this is going to be 4 times 1. This will be 4 times 2. And this will be 4 times 3. That's how you do it. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. You add all of those together, and you get a total of 24. And that's what I'm gonna plug in right there for the answer. All right, I need to go to my calculator real quick. Show you guys how to use a calculator. Where is my calculator? There we go. Turn it off. Okay, so to get the summation notation, you have to hit alpha window number 2. Alpha window number 2. If you would please put that right there in your journal. Okay? How do we get this? Alpha window number 2. Okay? And that's how you get your sigma notation, also known as summation notation. This is the Greek symbol called sigma, S-I-G-M-A. So right here we're going to put x, right here we're going to put 1, right here we're going to type in a 3, and right here we're going to type in a 4x, and you're going to press enter, and it gets us 24. Now we could have done that at the very, very beginning, but it really, you don't understand why is the number 24. Hopefully now you understand why the number is 24. This is what the calculator did for us. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and type in 24. Let's try another one. Oh, where is it? All right, it's 24. All right. Here we go. Next one. This one will be really, 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 really easy. We're just going to do 2 of these, and then hopefully you'll understand how it works. Okay. So go ahead and write that down. You're going to write the cool little sigma. Put a 1. Put k equals 0.
You took a star without typing it.
That's okay. All right, so on this one, I'm only going to have 2 boxes. Okay? Literally just 2. All right? Here, I'm going to plug in a 0, and then I'm going to finish with a 1. So the first thing I'm going to do right here is I'm going to do 2 minus 0, and then I'm going to do 2 minus 1. Right, where are you putting those? Please tell me. Right here. So I'm taking the 0, and where am I plugging it in? Right there. Then I'm taking the 1 and plugging it in right there as well. Add those together. 2 minus 0 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. So this one, the answer would be 3. And we'll just check it with our calculator. All right, I'm going to go up here, grab it. All I'm going to do here is now change it. So now, instead of a 3, we're finishing at a 1. Instead of a 1, we're starting at a 0. And over here, it was what? 2 minus x. Now, they said k, but remember, our calculator can only do things in terms of x. Press enter. You get 3. So all I have to do now is just go type in a 3. Now, obviously, you can use a calculator and do it, but I want you to try it by hand and then check it with the calculator. Okay, so that's what I want you to do here. Do it by hand and check it with the calculator. Now, the next thing we're going to do is what's called arithmetic series. So I want you guys to go ahead and click on the article for arithmetic series, and we're going to kind of go over it together. All right, we're going to go ahead and start with this one right here. Okay, so we're just going to go to the calculator. You can just do what? 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9. You can also do that in your head. All right, so what do you get? You get a total of 25. So what's the sum of all of those together? That's just the sum of 25. Now, what we want to do is we want to identify the formula for the sum of an arithmetic series. So what I want you to do is right here, check this out. I want you to label this. Label this your A1. And I want you to label this one A to the N. Now, we actually happen to know what A to the N is in this particular case. This is A to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th term. So right here, just to help you guys out, I'm going to label all of these. Hopefully we'll see a pattern. Write it nicely. There we go. A 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just note that the beginning, the start, the very first term is considered to be A to the first. The last term is going to be our nth term in the series. In this particular case, what is it? It's a 5. Now, we already know the answer to this, right? The answer is already a 25. So let me show you. We're going to check both of these and we'll see which one equals a 25. Okay? So we're going to say S5 equals, what was our first term? A1 is 1. Plug it in. AN is what? AN is a 9. Divided by 2 times, and what's the n value in this particular case? A 5. When you multiply all this out, you get 9 over 2 times 5, which is 45 over 2, which becomes 22.5. What are we supposed to get to? We're supposed to get to a 25. Here we go. The bottom one, we're not going to multiply, we're going to add. We're adding the first term and the last term. And we're multiplying it by the total number of terms. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 divided by 2 times 5 is 5 times 5, which gets us to a 25. Which means this is the one that you're going to put into your journal right there. That's the one you're going to put into your journal. All right, so the correct answer is that right there. Got it? Moving on down. Sweet. So which one of these did we end up doing? A, B, C, or D? D is correct. We took the first, we added the last, we divided it by 2, and multiplied it by 5. That was the one that we did. Plug it in. What? Consider the series. Uh-oh. It's not ending at a 9. It's ending at a 401. Holy cow. Did you guys write that down? All right. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to put a little arrow right here. You're going to call that A1, which is our first term. You're going to put a little arrow right here. You're going to call that our last term. We don't know what it is, but that's our last one. Put A subset N. There we go. So we already know our A1 value is 3, and our AN value is 401. So that's the first thing we're going to do. The tricky part is knowing what N is. So we're gonna figure that out next. Let me type these in, and we'll figure how to solve for N. So first value is 3. Our last value is 401. See, that's good. So far, so good. Now, how do we find the value for N? Let me tell you guys. I'm gonna write a little formula down. Now, in an arithmetic sequence, you should have come across this formula. AN equals the first term plus N minus 1 times D. Let me explain to you what D represents. D represents what's called the common difference. The common difference, which means whatever the number is going up by or whatever the number is going down by. So let's think about this. What's our D value? What does it look like our D value is going to be equal to in our sequence? What's the common difference between our steps? 2. So right now, I want you guys to understand, we're going to plug in everything that we know. What are we plugging in for A, N? We're plugging in A, 401. What are we plugging in for the very first term? We do parentheses, N minus 1. What number are we plugging in for D? Our common difference is 2. So we're going to go ahead and distribute. 2 times N is 2N. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. Take away 1 on both sides. We're left with 2 times N, and I think you guys can see what N is equal to. N equals 200. What does that mean? That means there's 200 numbers in this series. 200 total numbers. So what did I do once more? What did I do? We know what our A in subset N is. It's 401. We know what our first term is. How did I find the common difference, that D value? How did I find it? I figured out, was it going up or was it going down? What formula do you need in your journal? You need that formula. All right, so what was our N value this time? It was 200, okay? So after we distributed the 2, we combined 3 minus 2 to get 1, subtract 1 from both sides, divide both sides by 2 to get 2. Now let me explain. I'm going to show you guys a cool little formula. We're going to solve for N. So we're going to show you guys how to find N without having to plug everything in. Okay, we're going to show you how to solve for N. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a little algebra problem. I'm going to put D times N minus D. Okay. D times N minus D. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to solve for N is what I'm going to do. So let's think about this. All right. Right now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take away 1, A1 from both sides. So here we go. It's going to be A, N minus A1 equals D, N minus A, D. That's what we're doing so far. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a D to both sides. I'm going to add D to this side. I'm going to add D to this side. So what do we have left? N minus A1 plus D equal to d times n. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide everything by d. Okay? Divide everything by d. And then we're going to get a formula. And the formula is what's going to be very helpful when you're trying to do this. Okay? So right now, I'm dividing everything by d. Okay? So, here's what you're left with. an minus a1 over d plus d over d. Well, what is d over d equal to? If I take this right here and divide it by d, and I add d over d, you're right. What does that add? What does it become? Just a 1. So here's your final formula. Plus 1. Now I'm going to explain to you what this formula means. This will always equal your n value. Okay? So we're going to explain to you what this is. Ready? That is always going to be your last number. This will always be your first number. And this d value will always be your common difference. Okay, that'll be your common difference. We'll show you how we could use our answer to check it. What was our last number? Our last number was 401. What was our first number? It was a 3. What was our common difference? It was going up by 2, right? It was going up by 2, and we're going to add a 1. 403. So 401 minus 403, so minus 3 is what? 3? 98. What is 398 divided by 2? 199. What's 199 plus 1 equal to? 200. All right, so what formula do you need to have in your journal? That right there. That's the formula that you need to have in your journal. I'm going to go ahead and put parentheses right here. All right, 200. Okay. So now we're going to use this to help us with our final answer. We're going to find the sum of all those. Okay, so if you guys would please, we're going to write this right here. We're going to write S of n equals our first term plus our last term divided by 2 times the number. How many do we have? Total of what? How many total do we have? A total of 200. Okay? So, here we go. What's our first term? 3. What's our last term? 401. Divided by 2 times 200. So we're going to go ahead and type that in our graphing calculator. $40,400, which means this, if we added 3 plus 5 plus 7 and kept going on and on and on and on and on until we got to 401, what would the final answer be? 40,400. That's what it would be. Okay? We're going to do one more problem, except we're going to do everything a shortcut. We're going to use the formula, and we're going to find the shortcut to be able to find the n value. So here's our final problem we're going to do together. Right now, first thing I'm going to write down is a formula we're going to use. A1 plus A subset n, all divided by 2 times n. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to solve for n. Just remember, n will always equal the last number minus the first number divided by the common difference, and then we're just going to add 1 to it. So there's your two formulas. Okay, right here, that's your first term. That right there, that's your last term. So that's what let's start with. Got 11 plus 4,052, all divided by 2 times. All we need to do is find our n value. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to take our last term. What are we going to do? We're going to take away our first term. We're going to divide it by the common difference. Well, what's the common difference? What are these going up by? Well, yeah, they're going up by 9s, right? So we're going to divide this by 9. That's the most important part right there in the formula. You got to know what they're going up by or what they're going down by. And we're going to add a 1. So right here in the calculator, that's what I'm going to do. So here we go. Alpha y equals n. I'm going to do 52 minus 11 divided by 9, and whatever I get, what am I going to do? I'm going to add a 1 to it. So I'm going to add 1 more, which gives us to a total of what? 450. So what is our n value equal to? 450. So right here, I'm going to put 450. This is going to be a very, very, very large number. All right, here we go. Alpha y equals n. We're going to do the first term plus the last term. Was it 4052? And divide that by 2. And then times 450 terms. That's a lot of terms. 914,175. 914,175. Whoa. 914,175. Yay, we got it right. And that's how you do it. Good luck.